the new user interface of Windows 10. Windows 10 has an improved user interface that allows you to navigate the operating system by using touch-enabled devices and devices that are equipped with the keyboard and mouse. So basically, Windows 10 is designed to work on touch screen devices and also for the keyboard and mouse devices where we can use keyboard or mouse to give instructions. So this is the same operating system which we can use for the touch enabled devices, like we can use it for the tablet and mobile devices, and even we have nowadays touch enabled screens of the laptops, so we can use it on that. And it is also good for desktop where we use mouse and keyboard. Now if you are currently using Windows 7, then you will see the changes are very much significant. But if you are using Windows 8 or 8.1, or basically if you are using 8.1, so the changes might not as significant and represent more of an ongoing evolution of the features, new user interface. So you will see not much changes if you are using Windows 8.1 basically, because 8.1 was almost same as this Windows 10. Windows 8 was a little different about the interface, but the interface of Windows 8.1 and this Windows 10 is more like same. So the changes which we have in this user interface, including the sign-in screen, then the start menu, mostly we will see the start screen very much changes. The start menu is so much changed. Action center is changed. Then settings are changed. Settings are now become consolidated settings. So sign-in screen where you can sign in with the different options, it has changed from previous versions. If you have seen Windows 7, then you will see a big difference here. But if you are using Windows 8 or 8.1, so similar. From Windows 7, it is very much different. The start screen is, sign-in screen is very much different. But if you are using Windows 8 or 8.1, so it is mostly same. But start button, when you see the start button, so start button is in Windows 8 or Windows 8.1 is different than Windows 10. In Windows 7, if you see the start screen is look like same, but it is not that same, but it is different from Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. In Windows 8 and 8.1, the start screen, the Windows start was looking like a touch enabled device, only it shows the tiles. But now we have what? We have a start menu like we have in previous versions of Windows. Then we have Action Center. Action Center is improved. It has different way of the settings and all that. From the previous versions of Windows, if you see Windows 7, Windows 8, it is completely different. And from 8 or 8.1 also it is a little different. Then setting is also changed from 8.1 or 8. Previous version, like if you go for Windows 7 or Windows previous version, there is no setting app. But now we have setting app from Windows 8. So if you want to see that, let's see that in our Windows. Now first sign-in screen. So sign-in screen, like I have logged in here, so I will log out first. So this is our sign-in screen. Now this sign-in screen is different than Windows 7 or Windows previous version, but it is almost same as Windows 8 or 8.1. Here you have to click enter. This is the welcome screen. When you click enter, it shows the sign-in menu. Here you will see the login user option, and then you can log in here. And if you have other users, then it will show you in this side those other users, and then you can choose those users from here which you want to log in. And then you can give password and you can log in. In this side you can see the language option, connection option, and your accessibility option, which is ease of access, like you can have a on-screen keyboard, narrator and all that. And here you can do power option. You can go for shutdown, restart or sleep. And to log in, select the user from this side and give the password of that user, and then it will log in. So this sign in screen is different than Windows 7 or previous versions of Windows, but it is same as Windows 7 or 8. Now when you see the start button here, now it is different than Windows 8.1 and 8, and also different than any previous versions of Windows. In previous versions of Windows like Windows 7 or previous version, you will see this start button. When you press this start button, you will see the start menu like this. It was there from very old version, but what they have done in Windows 8, they have changed it. They have changed the start button. They have changed the start button. At least in Windows 8, if you see, there is no start button actually. You have to drag your mouse in this corner, then you will see the start button. And then when you click on that start, then you will see the tiles here, only the tiles, no different, like this desktop is disappeared and you will see only the tiles like mobiles. So 8.1, they have improved this thing. In 8.1, they have given the start button directly here, but again when you click on it, it will show the tiles only. Now in this Windows 10, you have this start button here, and when you click, it opens the start menu like this, where you can see the different apps you have, and also you can see the tiles. These are called tiles. And here you will see the different universal apps which you can use on touch enabled mobile devices or tablets, and also you can use them on desktop. And these are the tiles. So these apps you can see here, those apps which you can see here, these are actually universal apps. Those works on both desktop and mobile devices also. And this side you will see the applications which you have from alphabetical order, recently added, and then you will see the alphabetical order, all the applications you have. And in this side you will see the login option, document folder, picture folder, and setting. And also you have power option here. So this is more improved version of Start. Then Action Center. Action Center was here under this notification center area. Previously, in previous versions of Windows, if you see Windows 7 or previous version, this Action Center was here in the under this notification area. It looks like a flag. It was showing as a flag. But now it is available here in this side. So when you click on this Action Center, it opens like this. It is improved, and here you will see these notifications. Whatever notification comes, you can see here. And then these are different settings here, where you can open the all setting apps here. You can open the network setting, connection. You can go for the night light. It will go the dark mode. You can enable and disable the locations, and there are other features are also there. You can expand it, and you can see other features also there. So this is what improved Action Center. And the setting app. Setting app is different than previous versions. In previous versions of Windows, there was only control panel where we can do all the configuration related things. But now from Windows 8, we have setting app. Setting app, we can do setting of our Windows. Now in Windows 8 or 8.1, we are not able to do lots of things from setting app. Here you can access it from here. but it is now consolidated. That means we can do lots of things from this setting app. We have a control panel again here in Windows 10 also. So more the advanced settings we can do it from control panel also, and also we can do it from here, from this setting app. Now we can do what? Customize the user interface. Now you can configure the desktop settings in Windows 10 just as you can in Windows 7 also. So whatever the desktop settings we do changes in Windows 7, we can do it on Windows 10 also. But some of the settings that you can configure, including adding and removing your own shortcuts and customizing your color scheme. However, you have the most control over customization task from the select screen. So you can perform the following customization task from start. So what start we have, we can do these things, like we can manage the tiles from start. So in the start, which is new in Windows 10, what we have different programs also, and also we have a different tiles. We have different tiles there, which is actually a universal app. So we can manage those tiles. We can do what? We can add tiles, we can remove tiles, we can pin item to taskbar. Then we can resize the tiles also. We can configure the live tiles also. We can configure the live tiles, we can resizing the tiles, we can do grouping of the tiles also. For example, now in Windows 10 we have this start, and here we have these tiles. These are called tiles. These are actually universal apps. So what we can do here, we can add more tiles, we can remove tiles also. So suppose like this is what photos. If I want to remove it, so I right click on it and I have option to go to app setting and to remove it, or we can add some also. We can do resize them, we can make large, like I will make large it. Now you see it is large. Wide. So we can change the size also. These are default, you are not able to remove them. You can uninstall them from here. You can pin it to the taskbar. That means when you pin it, it will come to taskbar. You can unpin from here. Then you can pin some new, you can add some new application here in the task. Right now I don't have any other new, but it is whatever I have here, it is showing here. Suppose I will try to add this camera. So I have option to pin to start. So when I do this, it is added here. We can add more. Like this. And then what we can do, we can create groups also. These are groups. These are different groups. If you can see here, these are name of different groups. These are productivity group, this is explorer group, and this is what we created new group. So we can change the name of the group also. So this is what new group, and this name is now video and images. I name the group. You can move some files from some tiles from here to there also in some other group. So you can manage this, like you can move some tiles from here and there, you can resize them. And one more thing you can do, you can make some tiles as a live tiles. Live tiles like this. If you can see, it is changing. It is moving something. So some tiles will make, you can make them live. So they show you different things. They look like they are live. This is what turn live tile off. Right now it is live and I can turn it off. Now live means it is doing what? It is showing the current temperature and current weather control. And this one is what? News feed. Now it is, I think it is not live. Okay, it is actually live. Because of internet it is not showing. Now turn on the live. So when you make it live, it will change and it will show you the live status of that current application. So you can make them live, you can turn them off live also. Configuring ease of access. Now Windows 10 enables you to access and configure a number of accessibility features. From ease of access in the setting app, and the available settings are grouped into 7 categories, that is narrator, magnifier, high contrast, closed option, keyboard, mouse and other options. In other option you have whether Windows plays animation, whether the desktop background is displayed, how long notifications are displayed, visual notifications for sound, whether Windows provides touch feedback. Now this ease of access is for the ease of access, like suppose some users may have problem of eyesighting, like their visualization, their eyes are not that good, so they use narrator, magnifier, or if they are having some problem of eyes like not seeing clearly, then they can go for high contrast, they can use closed caption, and suppose they are visually disabled, so they can use these also, and changing mouse and keyboard options and these other options also there. So these are all we can change and configure from the ease of access. So basically ease of access is for the disabled people who is not able to see or not able to see something or hear something. So these features you can get it from setting app, and you can do it from this ease of access. So under the ease of access you have these different options. Display option, where you can change the text size, you can change the size of your text, you can see the text is bigger and bigger. Then you can go for the make everything bigger, you can directly change the size of the task by percentage. You can see now everything is bigger than this. Recommended is 100%. 100% is for the normal people, and suppose somebody is visually not seeing properly, so he can do increase the size of font. Then make everything bigger, he can make everything bigger. Simplify and personalize the windows. You can use show animation in Windows. You can show the animation when you close and open the windows, it shows like animated, you can see. You can show the transparency in Windows. We can automatically hide scroll bars in Windows and show notification for 5 seconds or more than 5 seconds. Whatever notification comes here, whenever the notification comes, it appears here, so you can decide how long it can be visible. You can show the desktop background image, or if you don't want, then you can disable it. You can change the mouse pointer, you can increase the size of mouse pointer, you can change the design of your mouse pointer, you can change the touch feedback. So if you are using the touch screen, then you can change this touch feedback also. Then you have text cursor. Text cursor, that means when you start typing something on your notepad or some text documents, then your cursor will look like this. This is called cursor. So how big you want to see the cursor, which color you want to see for the cursor. You can pick a custom cursor also. You can change the text cursor appearance also. It looks like this. You can change it. you're changing the thickness of the cursor. Then you have magnifier here, magnifier to increase or enlarge the text or specific area of the window. So by default it is disabled, so you can enable it. You can press Windows key plus to turn on the magnifier, or escape to turn off the magnifier also. You can change the zoom level. You can, by default it is 100. Start the magnifier after sign in. You can select this to start the magnifier whenever you sign in. Start magnifier before signing for everyone. You can enable it for everyone. Smooth edges of images and text. Invert colors you can enable. Then change magnifier view you can change by using this. For full screen you can do Ctrl Alt F, it will do full screen. And have magnifier follows. Poise for mouse pointer, whenever you point your mouse it will follow your mouse. Keyboard focus, auto text cursor and narrator cursor. And if you enable, it will look like this. This is actually magnifier, and it is magnifying everything, you can see, and it is going for 200%. I can go for 100%, and I can increase, and you can see it will follow my mouse. So when I move my mouse in this side or down, so it follows my mouse. So this is for increasing the specific area of window. And I am closing. So this is the other settings of this magnifier. This is also for those who is having a problem of seeing clearly, so they can enlarge the enlarge the area of any area of this Windows or desktop. Then reading, choose the modifier key. Keep the mouse pointer within the edge of the screen. Keep the text cursor centered in the screen. For reading, choose the modifier key, Control Alt. Use those commands as magnifier, read from your screen, so it will read whatever you point out. These are the keys for it. Then you have color filter option. This makes photos and colors easier to see by applying a color filter to your screen. So it will show you the images clearly. It will help you to see those images clearly. So when you turn on, then it will start doing its job. You can also turn on by using Windows plus Control plus C. Allow the shortcut key to toggle filter on or off. So you enable it from here, then you can use this key to enable or disable this filter. So if you enable it, you will get these other options, like select the color filter to see the element on the screen better, grayscale, inverted, grayscale, inverted. So this is how. Then you can enable your these options, red green, red blue, and you can see here the sample. Then we have here high contrast option, which will enable it into your screen into high contrast. This makes text and apps easier to see by using more distinct color. So sometimes some text are not easier to see, and those are having a problem in their eyes, they are not able to see properly, so they can enable this. and this will do what? It will need to log out. So when you enable it, you see now it is doing what? High contrast. So everything is now looking clearly. You can go for these other options for the contrast. Contrast 1, high contrast 2, different styles, black and white, and you can see it is, you can see here different applications differently. You can see in the taskbar also, everything it shows separately. Then you have narrator also. Now this narrator do what? It is a screen reader that describes what's on your screen, so you can use that information to navigate your device, and it can be controlled by keyboard, touch and mouse. So this is for visual, for those people who's not able to hear properly. So it will narrate everything. Whatever you do, it will tell you that what you are doing. So when you enable it, it will start narrating you. Then it will go for startup option. You can do what? Allow the shortcut key to start the narrator. So it is by default there, and that means when you click Windows Control Enter, then narrator will automatically start. You can use narrator after signing also. Every time you can start the narrator before signing for everyone. You can enable it for everyone before signing in, and show narrator home when narrator starts. Minimize narrator home to the system tray. So when you open the system setting, it will minimize the narrator. When this box is unchecked, narrator home will minimize to the taskbar. Now personalization, for the personalize the narrator voice. So narrator voice is this. So you can personalize the voice also. You can go for different voices also. By default it is David, who is going to tell you in English, United States. And you can change also. Then you can change the speed of the voice. Then you can change the voice pitch, voice volume, then lower the volume and of the other apps when narrator is speaking. Then start where you hear narrator voice. You can change what here when reading and interacting. Then you can allow control details, that change the level of details narrator provides about text and control. Change how capitalized text is read, and these other more settings. Then immediate context, before control, like these are all change the level of context narrator provides for button and other control. This is for adjusting when narrator provides detail about buttons and other controls. Let's enable this. So these are the different settings to manage the narrator, how it behaves when you have enabled it, and what it do. Let's see. Now you see what it do.
Narrator dialog. OK. Button. Alt plus O. Heads up. Narrator keyboard changes. We've updated the narrator keyboard layout so it more closely matches the experience you may have had with other screen readers. If you want narrator to tell you what commands are associated with the keys you're pressing, you can turn Settings Narrator window. Scan. Narrator heading level 1. Welcome to narrator. This is narrator home, where you can get help, access your settings, and learn about new features. Exiting narrator.
And it is exited. So after enabling the narrator, whenever you tick your mouse, whenever you hover your mouse, it will guide you that what those settings are. And
starting narrator dialog. OK. Button.
And these are
Alt
narrator
plus O.
settings.
Heads up. Narrator heading level 1. Welcome to narrator. This is narrator home, where you can get help. Access your
You can
settings window,
minimize it,
use
and
narrator,
then what?
turn on narrator, toggle
You
switch,
can go
on.
on to
Vision, high contrast, 6 of 7 level 2, selected, high contrast. Taskbar pane, type here to search window, search box, edit, type here to search, suggestions available. Search window, pane, search window, command prompt window, text area, editing, c:\users\talk_UEE, Microsoft Windows version 10.0.1904.2.867, c. 2020 Microsoft Corporation. Settings window,
so
vision,
basically you see
high
what it do.
contrast,
It
6 of 7
actually
level, narrator,
guides you by
7 of
everything.
7 level 2, use narrate, exiting narrator.
And now I am exited. So this is guiding you about everything, and whenever you go there, then for hearing we have audio settings. To change the audio setting, this is make your device easier to hear or use without sound. So make your device easier to hear, you can enable this. Then turn on the mono audio. This mono audio combines left and right audio channel into one channel. Then show audio alerts visually. So whatever the audio alerts comes, it shows visually. By default, no visual alert. Sometimes suppose you do something, so you will hear the voice alert, audio alert, ting tong like this. So it will not show like this, it will show you the visual alert if you enable this. Then closed caption is also there. This is what make your device easier to use without sound by displaying audio as a text. So it will display audio as a text. So whatever audio comes, instead of audio, it will show you the text like this. Captions look like this. You can change their settings, change the font size and style of those. You can change the background of the text. You can dim Windows content, whatever. So this will do what? It will instead giving you the sound, it will show you the message as a text. Then for interaction, you are having speech. This makes your device easier to use if you have limited reach or strength. So you can do what? You can talk instead of type. So instead of typing, you can do talking, and detect the text and control your device using only your voice. So you can turn on the speech recognition, and then you can control your device by using your speech. That means whatever you want to do, you can just tell it and it will do that. Then you have keyboard settings to change. This is to make easier to type and use the keyboard shortcut. You can use your device without a physical keyboard. You can use what? On-screen keyboard. You can use this on-screen keyboard if suppose your keyboard is not working or some of the key is not working from your keyboard. Then you can use the sticky key. Press one key at a time for keyboard shortcut. Keyboard shortcuts are like these Windows shortcuts are there, like pressing Control Alt plus this key, Control Shift plus this key. So these are what? Combination of keys when you press. So it is enabled. Now if you enable the sticky keys, that means you don't have to press those Control Alt Delete at the same time. You can press them one by one. So press one key at a time for keyboard shortcut. You don't have to press all at the same time. Like if I want to press Control Alt Delete, So I don't have to press all at the same time. I will press Control, then I will press Alt, then I will press Delete. This is because sometimes we are having a problem of reach. Like Control Alt is in this side, in the right, in the left side of the keyboard. Delete is on the other side of the keyboard. And if I am having only one hand and I am not able to reach there, and I am not able to press those keys at the same time, so I can enable the sticky key. We can use toggle key to play a sound whenever I press caps lock and num lock or scroll lock. So whenever this caps lock key is on, num lock key is on, scroll lock key is on or off, it will play the sound. Then you can use the filter key, ignore brief or repeated keystrokes and change the keyboard repeat rate. Change how keyboard shortcut work. You can underline access keys when enabled. You can print screen shortcut. You can use the print screen button to open the screen sniping. There is a print screen key to print the whole screen. So you can use the print screen button to open the screen snappings also. Then make it easier to type. These options will make it easier to type also. Like show a warning message when turning on the sticky key, toggle key or filter key from the keyboard. So when it is enabled, it will go you the warning. Make a sound when turning this sticky key, toggle key or filter key on or off on the keyboard. Then you have mouse option also, where you can control your mouse with the keypad. That means suppose you are not having a mouse, it will make it easier to see and control the mouse cursor. So suppose you are not having a mouse, so you can enable the control of mouse from the keypad, like you are having these arrow keys in the keyboard, left, right and up and down. So if you are not having a mouse, then you can enable this, and now you can control your mouse from there. You can control your mouse from this direction keys. It is in the number keys. It works very slow, but it works. It is moving really slow. Only use mouse keys when num lock is on. So when the num lock is on, then it will use the mouse key from the keypad, numerical keypad, and show the mouse key icon on the taskbar. It will show the taskbar here. It shows that mouse key is on. Then you can enable this, hold the control key to speed up and shift key to slow down. So because it is moving very slow, so you can click this to enable this option, where you can press control key to speed up the movement of this mouse. You can do it by using this also. Pointer speed, you can pointer acceleration, you can change from here. Then you have eye controls. This is eye control, lets you see eye tracking technology to control the mouse type using an on-screen keyboard and communication with people using text to speech. Now this is what use the eye control. It is preview version, it is not available here. To use this eye control, connect a supported eye tracking device. This will do what? It will move your mouse cursor by your eyes. So you can move your mouse cursor by using your eyes, and you can do this text and speech to communicate with the peoples, and you can use on-screen keyboard for typing. So you don't have to use your hands, you can do it by your, and even not you have to, don't have to do your with your voice, by your eyes also. But for using this feature, you need a device. You need the eye tracking device. So you need this eye tracking device. and then you can do what? You can use this feature also. So basically this ease of access is for the people who is not able to do things properly, having a problem of eyes or hearing problem or some reach problem. Configuring notification. Now you can configure the way Windows report event and activities within apps to you by using the notification and action tab in the system category of the setting app. So in the system category of the setting app, you have the notification and action setting, where you can decide like what notifications you want to see and what you don't want to see. You can manipulate, you can configure the action center also. So when you go to settings, under the system you have notification and action center configuration. Now here you can change what you want to see in the notification. First you have quick action. You can add, remove or arrange your quick action directly in the action center. In this action center, whatever the settings you have here, these are all you are seeing here. So you can you can change this and you can manage this also. You can also open the manage notification to go to this setting directly from setting app. You can edit your quick action and then you can see what you can change from here. So if you want to remove something, you can remove from here and then you can say done. Right now all thing is added. So if you want to remove, so when you remove it, then you can add something. Right now everything is there. You can change the order also. You can change something from here to there. Like this, and then when you are done, you say OK. Then you have notification. Here you can manage the notification, get notification from the app and other senders. So whenever any notification comes, it will show and it will show up here, and because it is on. So if you disable the notification, then it will not come. Or you can manage this by using these options like show notification on the lock screen. So when your screen is locked, still it will show the notification. Show reminder and incoming VoIP calls on the lock screen. Allow the notification to play the sound. So it will play the sound also. Show me the Windows welcome experience after update, and occasionally when I sign in to highlight what's new and suggested. Suggest ways I can finish setting up by device to get the most out of Windows. We can get the tips and tricks and suggestion as we use the Windows. So when you use at different applications, you will get the suggestions. When you are having a voice over call, so it will display on lock screen also. It will show the sound also. It will play the sound also when the notification comes. If you completely disable the notification, if you want to disable, then you can just disable it from here. Then it will not come, it will not show anything. There is one more thing, it is called focus assist setting. This is to control times when you do or don't get notification. This focus assistant setting, like sometime you don't want to get the notification when you're using some app. Like suppose I'm using a app for presentation. So on that presentation, I don't want to get the notification. I just don't want to get the notification. So I can enable this focus assistant. Focus assistants I can enable from here directly. I can enable it from here. And in the setting I can manage what notification I want to see or not want to see. You can go to focus assistant setting. This is off. You can enable it by using priority only. You can enable it by using alarm only. see only selected notification from the priority list. The rest will go straight to Action Center and customize your priority list. So you can prioritize some app. So instead of your enable the focus assistant, again it will show the notification which is your most priority apps, and you will go for alarms only. Then it will hide all the notification except alarm. You can automatic rules. This is to choose the time activities when you don't want to be disturbed, and focus assist will turn on automatically. These are the time. You can set the time, and this time automatically the focus assist will start, and you don't have to do anything. It will automatically start. You can decide when I am duplicating my display. So when I duplicate my display, it will always get on. When I am playing a game, it will be on. And now remember, when you are playing the game, you don't want to see the notifications. So it is also on. When you play the game, it is on. This setting is by default on, and it will only show you the priority application notification, otherwise it will not show anything. Then when I am using an app in full screen mode, so if I am using any application in full screen mode, then again it will not display any notification. It will display only alarm. Rest of the applications will not be displayed. So this is focus assist, and you can enable it from here. By default it is disabled. Then go back to our notification setting. Then here you can decide get notification from these senders. So here you can decide which application can give you notification and which application cannot give you notification. Most recently settings and autoplay is giving me the notification, but you can have different applications installed, and you can decide who can give the notifications and who cannot give the notification. So you can disable the notification from some applications. Now next is Cortana. Configure Cortana. In Windows 10, Cortana is enabled by default, and you can configure setting for Cortana by clicking Cortana on taskbar, and then click setting on the left from the list of settings. So you can configure the Cortana. Cortana is by default enabled. Now Cortana is your voice assistant. It is basically your assistant for searching in your local machine and in your on the web also. So it is your suppose if it is your assistant. It is like in Apple devices you have Siri, and this is your Cortana here. Talk to Cortana. It is like your voice assistant. So when you click on it, it opens like this. Now it is listening here. Okay, now first time when you start, so it says that you have to sign in. This sign in to use you have the better experience. Now you have to sign in with your Microsoft account. For the best experience, use your work or school university account. So whatever, you have to use the account to sign in first, so that it can record your behavior, your searches and all that. Now when I click on it, it says how you want to log in. You want to log in as your normal email account, normal Microsoft account, or you want to log in as your organization account. So right now I'm not having both, so I'm not able to do that. But first you have to log in to configure it. You have to sign in. You have to enable the keyboard screen. This is about Cortana. Or so when you logged into Cortana, when you logged into your device, then you can see the setting here for the Cortana. When you open the Cortana, you will see this side. In this side you will see the setting thing. So when you click on that setting, you can see the Cortana settings. You can change the behavior of Cortana. You can enable it like hey Cortana. You can enable this feature. So whenever you say hey Cortana, it will enable the Cortana and it will start listening to you. Even the lock screen also. So there are other settings for that Cortana also. But first you have to sign in with your account, with your Microsoft account or your organization account. Now adding Windows features. Next thing is adding Windows features. Now Windows 10 provides many features and components, but it does not enable all of these features by default. For example, the Client Hyper-V. Client Hyper-V feature and related components are initially disabled. If you want to enable a Windows feature, you can use one of the following three options. So there are some features, there are too many features are there, but all of the features are not enabled by default. So if you want to enable some of the feature, then you can enable it from control panel. First you can enable them from control panel. To add or remove this Windows feature in Windows 10 from the control panel, first you have to do open setting, click system, and then click the app and feature tab, and then you can see the list of installed app, but at the bottom of the list click the link of program and features, and then the control panel programs and features app loads. Now in programs and features, click turn on Windows features on or off, and the Windows turn on Windows features the Windows features turn on or off dialog box is displayed. Now there select the features you want to enable. When you have finished your selection, click OK. The component and features you selected are installed. So you can do it from control panel, then even you can do it from the PowerShell also. And PowerShell, that means you have to run this command. In addition to use the control panel, you can also enable and disable Windows features by using the Windows PowerShell. For example, to install Hyper-V and the components on your computer, you have to perform this task. First you have to open the PowerShell and you have to open it as a admin, and then you have to type this command. Let's do it first from control panel. Now I can open the control panel directly by searching here, and I can open the control panel, or I can go from the setting also. I can go from the setting app. I will go to the setting app, and from here I will go for apps, and then here you can see apps and features and all that, and from here I will select this programs and feature related settings. This is what the related settings. So if I click on it, it will again open the control panel. It goes under the control panel. You can see under the control panel it goes to programs, and under the programs it goes to programs and features, and here you will see all the installed applications. So I can open it from the setting app, or I can directly go to the control panel. Like if you go directly to the control panel, so you will go to programs, and then you will go to programs and features, and you will see all the available installed applications. Here you will see all the available installed application. So if you want to remove some application, you can select and you can change, you can select and you can uninstall. Now if you want to enable or disable Windows features, then you can do it from here. turn on Windows features on or off. Now one more interesting thing here is this shield. Now this shield means these things can only done by administrator. Normal users cannot do this. Now administrator means what? It's a built-in user which is what having all the permission of your device. This user account is having all the permission on your system, but in Windows 10 machines or Windows 8 machines, by default this administrator account is not enabled. Not enabled, that means when you go to the login screen, you will not see any username as administrator. So administrator account is not enabled by default. Because of the security reason, it is not enabled by default. But we can enable that administrator account and we can use to log in with that administrator account. But only on Windows 10 Pro or Enterprise versions. If you go for home version, you cannot enable also administrator account, you are not able to enable also. Now this shield means what? And one more thing, the account which you create when you install the system and you log in with that account. Now this account which you created at the time of installation and you logged in with this account, it is basically not administrator, it is as an administrator account. This account is as an administrator, it is not the default administrator. That means it can do almost everything, but it cannot do basic administrator task, like the main administrator task. Now I said it can do everything, that means it is as an administrator, but for doing more configuration like the main configuration, it needs the permission of administrator. Now this shield indicates that. That means when I click on this, it will say that you cannot do that, administrator permission needed to do this. But this user which is we created at the time of installation is can get the administrator permission because it is as an administrator. So this account is as an administrator, so it can access, it can get the administrator privilege. So it is having the administrator privilege, it can do lots of things, but still it is not able to do more system configurations. So whenever I click this shield setting here, it is getting the permission from the administrator, and it can get that because this user is as an administrator. Now what? It shows all the available features which we can install in the Windows 10. Some of them you can see it is enabled, it is selected, like this Internet Explorer 11, it is selected, that means it is installed. Media features are there and these are also selected, and most of them is not selected, and some of them has also different options inside that main option. So if you select, you can see these options are also there. And there is Hyper-V also, and Hyper-V, that is client Hyper-V, is basically not enabled by default. So if you like, then you can enable some of the features from here. For example, like Telnet. Now Telnet is not enabled by default. Now this is Telnet client. Telnet client means we can access the Telnet server. Telnet server is what? Telnet is a protocol, and we can do this, we can use this protocol to access the remote server command line, through the command line. So we can enable this Telnet client. By default it is not enabled, so we can enable this to get the access of Telnet server. Now this feature is not enabled. Now if I want to enable this, so I will select this and I will say OK, and now it is going to install these features. Now in previous versions of Windows, for example before Windows 7, when you want to install these extra features, So you need the installation DVD or installation CD DVD that time. That means for adding these additional features, you have to add the DVD into your CD or DVD into your DVD drive, and then it will get this advanced feature from there. But now what they did, Microsoft has did, they have they have installed all the feature into the system when you do the installation, but only it is not enabled. So when you select those features to enable, it does not need any installation device, any other CD DVD. It will directly enable the feature and install the feature. Now we are having this Telnet feature available. Telnet feature available, that means it is actually, when I go to CMD, I can use this Telnet command. This is Telnet client command, and it is working. So if it was not installed, it will not work. For example, I will remove that feature. So I will go again and I will remove that Telnet client feature. Now after removing this, that command will not work. Telnet command will not work because now I remove that. Now when I go to CMD and if I give the Telnet command, now it says that the command is not recognized because now I remove that feature. So we can enable and disable features from additional features from here, from the control panel. And some of the features needs to restart the system. Like when you enable some feature, it will need to restart the system. So your system may restart 1 or 2 times or more than 2 times sometime. So some feature needs to restart your system, like Hyper-V. So when you enable or disable the Hyper-V, your system will restart more than 1 time. Now this feature which I enabled or disabled, that does not require the restart. So it is enable or disable without restarting the system. Now the other way to enable or disable the feature, we can do it now from this setting app also. Remember, it was not available in previous versions, but now we can do it from here also. Like we go to the setting app first, and in that setting app we'll go to apps, and in that apps we can see all the available apps here. These are all apps which is installed. Now here it is showing all the apps which is desktop apps also, and also the universal apps. And remember, in the control panel it is showing only the desktop apps, but here it is showing these apps also. These apps are universal apps which we can use on desktop and mobile also. And these apps are not showing in this control panel. You can see in the control panel it is only showing Microsoft Edge, OneDrive and these Microsoft Visual, VMware 2. But here it is showing, with that it is showing all these apps also. With that means it is also showing Microsoft Edge here, OneDrive here, and also these Visual C++ here, and also it is showing this VMware tool, and with that also it is showing all the other universal apps. Now if you want to enable or disable feature from here, you can go for here optional features. And now you can see these optional features available here. Now you can go for see optional feature history which you have add or remove, or you can go for add. And from here you can add some optional features. But still it is not showing all those optional features which is available in control panel. So it is having some setting here, but still it is not having all. So basically to do the everything we have to go for, you can see more Windows features. It is saying related setting, more Windows features, and it will take you to control panel setting where you can see all the features. So this is the main way you can do enable or disable the Windows features. Now we have PowerShell also, and we can do it from PowerShell. So if we are having a PowerShell, we can if we want to enable any feature or disable any feature, then we can do it from PowerShell also. So for doing it from PowerShell, what we have to do, we have to open the PowerShell as a admin. We can do that by right clicking on the start button, and we have option to open the PowerShell as admin, or we can open the normal, but normally it will not work with the current user. We have to open it as a administrator. Remember that shield option there for Windows features setting that says that it only can be done by administrator. So you have to open the PowerShell as a administrator. Now when I try to open it as a administrator, it is asking the administrator privilege. I will say yes, and this is what it opens as a PowerShell as a admin. Now for enabling or disabling the feature, I can do it by using the commands. So I can do this by using these commands. This first command is to get the all features. Like when you want to enable or disable some feature, now you have to check that what are the features available in now our Windows. So to get it, we will run this command, get Windows optional feature -online option. So with online parameter, you can check all the commands, all the optional feature available. It will show you all. Then you can choose from there. You can choose what you want to enable or disable. For example, I want to enable Hyper-V. So I will give command enable Windows optional feature with optional online parameter, and then I will mention feature name parameter, and then I will mention the name of the feature, and then I will say all. That means it will enable with all the optional dependencies also. So to get the exact name, you have to run get Windows optional feature command with online parameter. So it will show you all the current machines optional features available. And you can see this is the feature name and this is the status. Is it enable or disable? So you can know now that what is the exact name of that feature. So for example, I want to enable Hyper-V. So I know the exact name. This is Microsoft Hyper-V and this is disable. This is Microsoft Hyper-V all and this is disable. So I want to enable all. There is different tools like Microsoft Hyper-V tools, Microsoft Hyper-V management, PowerShell, hypervisor, but I want to enable all, so I will enable this Microsoft Hyper-V all. So it will enable all of these things related to Hyper-V. So for enabling it, what I will do, I will run command enable. Windows optional feature with online parameter. Then I will mention the feature name, and the feature name is what? I will mention this name. And now you can see it is installing this feature. Now this one needs to be restarted, like your system needs to be restarted. So some feature require your system to restart, and this is one of them. So when you install these feature, so your system will restart. Now it is saying what? This feature, do you want to restart the computer to complete the operation now? So as I said, it needs to restart. So you have to restart the system. So it says yes, you want to say yes, so press Y, and for no, press N, and you want to get help, then press question mark. So I want to restart now, so I will say Y, and then it will restart. And you can see it is getting ready and it is enabling the features. So it will take some time, and it will take some time to install and enable this feature, and after reboot you will get the feature. 30% completed, and now okay, 100%. Now it is restarting, and it is restarting again. And now see, it is completing the other features. So it restarts 2 times when you install or when you enable Hyper-V, client Hyper-V. It will do it same when you disable it also. Now it is started, and I will log in. And now the Hyper-V is installed, and actually when you check here by searching it, you can see the Hyper-V manager, and this indicates that the client Hyper-V is installed. If you have not installed, it will not show. And also we can see by using the PowerShell command. We can check by get Windows optional feature online command. And we can check whether it is installed or not. Now you can see I installed this Microsoft Hyper-V all, and now it is enabled, and these are also enabled because I said all. So it has enabled all the things related to Hyper-V. Next thing is configuring the regional setting. This Windows 10 provides regional settings that helps in the global adoption and use of Windows 10. So this is enabled through the date and time setting and language and speech option. So you can enable this by using from the date and time setting. You can enable the time zone, you can change the time, you can enable the time zone changing, you can change the time zone and regional settings from this date and time setting. It is important to choose the right region, because sometimes your internet service provider will not provide the services when you are not having the right time zone, you are not configured into time zone. Suppose your time zone is different, and you are trying to use the internet services, and that service provider said that this is not the time zone which we provide the services, so you will not get the internet services sometime. So you have to make sure that you are having the right time zone, and we can do it by using the automatic setting. So we can do it by using the setting app, and we can go to the date and time setting, time and language, and here you have the time set here, and this time by default it's set time automatically, it is enabled. That means it is automatically update the time from the time server of Microsoft. So you don't have to mention this time. You have to select the right region from here, right time zone. You can even do the update automatically the time zone also. So you can either select manually the right time zone, or you can enable it from automatically updating also, and you can synchronize the time right now from this Windows server time.windows.com. So when you enable this automatically updating the time, then it will automatically update the time from this time server, and last time it was updated on this date and this time. And if you want, then you can re-sync now also. Now this is your region setting. So here you have to choose the proper region, your country, your language format, so that you will be into the right region. You have all the options to select from here. So you can select the region where you are right now located. So Windows and apps might use your country or region to give you a local content. Then option for mobile device. Mobile device, that means computers play an important part in people's daily lives, and the ability to carry out computing tasks at any time and in any place has become a necessity for many users. So mobile computers are portable devices that you can use for work. That means the devices that is like laptop, notepads, tablets and Windows 10 mobiles that you can carry with you anywhere, any place, and you can do your computing tasks anywhere, any place. That setting app displays the power tablet mode to display and power and tablet mode to from this setting app to manage your setting according to your requirement as a tablet or notepad or suppose mobile device. And this action center enables you to access your quick action menu, and you can access your different settings from here very quickly from the action center. Now when you are using the computer as a mobile device, then other settings are like same, but the power option is important. These power options are important. Computing device need electrical power, and regardless of whether they are stationary or mobile, one of the main concern with mobile devices that use the stored electrical power is that the power in the battery is limited and depletes over time. So another concern for the many organizations is the amount of power consumed by all of the different devices that they might own. So conserving the power helps to reduce businesses expenses and benefits the environment. Basically for the mobile devices, your laptop, notebook, mobile tablets, these power options are important for them so that you can manage the power properly, because it is limited, because it uses the battery for the power and you cannot connect them every time. So it is important to manage the power properly. Now you can do it by using the power and sleep setting from the system, and it is available in the setting app, and you can choose the proper power plan. You are having these different power plans right now by default. First, balanced. It is a energy use is medium. That means your screen brightness can turn off display after a specific amount of time, and your system activity, it will measure ongoing activity, and when in use continues to provide full power to all system components when you are in balanced plan. When you are in power saver plan, so your energy will be least, it will use the least energy by doing what by default it will do. After 5 minutes of inactivity, the display will power off, so that to save the power. Remember, your screen takes the lots of power, then it saves the energy by reducing system performance whenever possible. That means when you are not using your system, so those applications which is not required, they will be not work, they will not use the power, it will not give the power to that applications and all. When you use for high performance, that means your energy will be used as highest. This we use mostly when you do use the game, when you play the games and you use the heavy applications, so it requires the higher energy and all, so you can use this high performance. This sets the screen at its highest brightness and keeps the system disk drive, memory and processor continuously supplied with power. Now these plans you can access from Windows setting app. In the system tab you can get the power and sleep settings. So from the setting app, you can go to system, and here you will get this power and sleep setting. Now in power and sleep, what you can do, you can decide that how much time after your screen will off. You can decide how much time after your system will go to sleep. And when plugged in, that means when your system is plugged into the power source. But when you are in the battery, it will always go to sleep after 5 minutes. Now this is another setting, related setting. So if you click on this, it will take you to the control panel. Now in the setting app, still you are not having all the settings available. So when you go to the setting app, a control panel, in the control panel, this is available under the hardware and sound group, and under that group you will have this power options. So when you go to the power option, you have these different plans. You have balance plan, which is recommended, and by default you can go for power saver plan. Additionally, you can go for high performance plan, and also you can customize these default plans. Default plans, that means these are default with the default settings. You can customize these plans by using this setting. You can change how much time after your display will turn out. You can change the advanced power settings from here, like change the advanced power setting. You can restore the default setting if you have made something wrong. So when you click on this, it opens this, where you can decide which thing should work and which thing should not work. Like hard disk. Hard disk, turn off hard disk after 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes it will turn off. It will not supply power to hard disk. This is what in the balance setting. This is which is active right now. And you can check the high performance, what it do in high performance, what it do in power saver. And you can change these settings, or you can set to default. Like if you made changes and you know that you don't know what you have done and it is not working properly, so you can restore these settings to normal, because it can sometime harm your hardware devices. So these are the 3 default plans available. And other options, like you can choose what the power button do. Like you can select what the power button do, that means when you press the power button, what it will do. Then you can create your own plan. Now this is your default plans, but you can create your own plan also. That means you can create your own plan. You can name the plan whatever the name you want to give. And then you can go for next, and you can create, wait, let me do it again. Now you can name it here, and then you can choose what the default setting you can go on. Like you can choose the setting from balance, power or high performance. So the basic settings will be like this, and then you can change according to your requirement. So if I go with the balance, so all the settings which is there in the balance will be available, and then I can go on to change my own settings also. And you can change this, then you can create, and now you have your own plan also, and you can see it is by default selected. Then you can change the other settings, like whatever you want to do changes to your own plan. Then you can choose when to turn off the display. This is under the balance plan. Then you can choose when the computer goes to sleep, and again it is under the balance plan. So it is decided based on the plan which you selected. You can separately change also those things. So this is our Windows interface and the other settings like Windows features and all that, which we can modify and or do all these other things. Other configurations are same as you manage your desktop by using the display setting. By right click on the desktop, you can go to the display setting, you can change the resolution. These are same as previous versions of Windows. You can go to personalize. You can change the background, you can change the images, you can change the color for your background. You can go for the lock screen. You can change the image of your lock screen. These other settings like which application can give the show on the lock screen. You can change the themes. You have different themes available here. You can download some more themes from the store. For that you have to download, you have to log in as a Microsoft account, then you can download those extra themes from here. You can enable, you can change the desktop icon settings also, like what icons you want to see on the desktop. So these are the same settings we have in Windows 7 or previous versions of Windows. You can change the font setting, you can change the start setting, you can change the taskbar setting. What you want to see on the taskbar, notification area and all that. You can right click, you can change the view icons, larger, medium, small. You can do auto arrange, icon grid, show the icon on the desktop or not show the icon on the desktop. These are same settings we have. Or also you can refresh the desktop, you can sort by name, size, item type or date modified. These icons what you have on the desktop. So you can manage the desktop as the desktop you manage on previous versions. And we have seen the new things also, what we can do, the new interface and how we can manage this new interface.